Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. And if you guys do find any information in this video valuable, useful, interesting, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on, as it also does help, and I do greatly appreciate that as well. Now, we have been talking about QNT for a fairly long time, and I'm sure that you guys are probably by now tired of hearing the term interoperability. But the best way that I could describe QNT is honestly being the interoperability layer between all DLTs, really kind of connecting trillions of dollars in value to one massive network. I think that this is honestly the best way to look at it because it kind of puts into perspective exactly how serious interoperability, one, is, but also two, how massive of a gem QNT is even at these prices, but also three, kind of realizing that we haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg in terms of the amount of volume that will flow over DLTs. In fact, one could argue that we're still in the infancy stages of DLT technology adoption anyways. So if you actually look at QNT compared to even DLTs right now, there's not a lot of usability going on in this market. Yeah, XRP is being utilized. Yes, HBAR is being utilized. There's a lot of crypto assets being utilized right now. But is there a real call for concern for interoperability just yet? And the answer to that question is technically no, because we haven't seen banks, financial institutions, and so forth actually adopt this technology at scale just yet. But I do believe that that is right around the corner, especially considering regulations are happening this year. ISO 222 is going live this year. There's a lot of updates that are being put in place, especially for crypto and crypto adoption, right? Now, of course, why do I believe in QNT so much? Why do I talk about QNT a lot? I even get questions and comments saying, dude, are you paid by Quant? What is going on with this? No, absolutely not. The reason why I talk about QNT is because I'm giving you guys an insight on just how undervalued this gem even is at $2 billion in market cap. I know a lot of people will look at that $2 billion and be scared. They will say it's already at $2 billion. There's not a lot of upside potential here. It's already at $166. What am I going to invest, $166 into and get at the end of the day? Listen, stop thinking like that. First off, I've always said that QNT is an incredible long-term hold, and a lot of you are probably scared or worried about that. Maybe you guys are a little bit concerned about that. Maybe you're like, well, if it's just a long-term hold, what's the point of even buying into it? Well, I don't want you guys to just look at it as a long-term hold in general. I want you to look at QNT as not only is it a long-term hold, but it could also be a short-term hold as well. I've seen a lot of comments saying, hey, QNT under $4,000 by the end of this year is FUD. And honestly, I would say it probably is, depending on how high Bitcoin goes. The best part about QNT is what they are building and the overall macro viewpoints behind it, which I've always addressed on this channel. But let's actually talk about some things that are very significant to this day that we could be seeing with QNT. So first off, we always talk about the QNT coin supply shock. In fact, I've always addressed the QNT coin supply shock. I know it's a subject that I like to talk about. I think that personally it is a significant, subject to talk about as well, because when we're talking about how massive of a gem QNT is with the supply that it does have at 33% less supply than Bitcoin, I think that it is a very significant subject to talk about, especially when bringing up the, overall potential of QNT. We know that the supply is extremely limited. In fact, we know that the supply currently is probably one of the least, supply tokens in this market. I actually think that it is probably I think it's the lowest supply holding asset in this space currently. I might be wrong on that. But again, in general, when we're talking about what's happening, supply left on exchanges is diminishing day by day by day. I honestly do think that this is an easy $1,000 plus coin, similar to what Crypto Eugene is saying here. But overall, I also think that this is much higher in general for its overall price appreciation. I think that this has a ton of upside potential. I really do think that at the end of the day, QNT is similar to Bitcoin. And I've always said this and I've always addressed this specifically to a lot of you that do watch my QNT videos on the daily. Now, I'm not the only one that sees a massive macro viewpoint on, of course, QNT. We actually do see our macro guru, Raul Paul, says Terra Luna, Avalanche, AVAX, and 3 additional altcoins will shine in 2022. And of course, in terms of QNT, here we have QNT laying the bridges down here. We do see, the Real Vision CEO says 5 other altcoins, and QNT definitely is one of them, are also worth keeping an eye on. In fact, the main reason behind QNT is because of the overall gem that it has behind it, which is interoperability layers for all of these DLT technologies. I've always said when we're talking about quant at scale, like it's going to be so massive. But we also see here, we're seeing these layer 1 stuff like Terra, Avalanche, and probably even Solana. I think maybe 2022 is going to be the year of interoperability. So we're looking at Polygon, Quant, a few others, that might give us those opportunities. But for the most part, we're talking about QNT or Quant because guess why, right? It is an interoperability giant. I've discussed this to you guys on a day-to-day basis. We see over here, the same things get built over and over again, in any layer 1, layer 2. Traditional finance is innovating and building, but mostly on private DLTs like R3, Oracle, Hyperledger, Quorum. The trillion-dollar ecosystems are coming, and only one crypto capable of seamlessly, connecting them all. What, asset is that? QNT. This is a great image to really kind of look at. So here's the blockchain consortiums, compared. So this is overall the idea behind a lot of these blockchain technologies. First off, you look at Corda. Corda's labeled on here multiple times with R3, as you guys are all aware. You even see, Hyperledger, labeled on here, Hyperledger Fabric in general. If you guys don't know the name of it, there you guys have it. But also even Quorum is labeled here. Even Oracle, which we know Oracle is already on board. Like, in my mind, when we're talking about all of these major DLT technologies, like these are all enterprise permission blockchains, Hyperledger, Corda, JP Morgan, Quorum, Ethereum, and even Ripple. But the best part about this is how are they all going to be connected? How are they all going to be able to communicate with one another? Well, you need that interoperability bridge. And if they're all going to move trillions of dollars, what you need to look at, the interoperability layer that is going to move all of this. And there's only one. It's QNT. Even here, got asked a lot, which DeFi tokens are good. Answer is again, none. Innovation hit plateau. Sector is reflective. Loop chasing own tail until major breakthrough, e.g. lending for non-speculation, bridging traditional finance assets. All we have are narrative trades, but we don't. There's a lot of great assets in this space. I think that's just overshadowed by hype and, lack of substance, which is the problem. Okay, we even see here 1 dApp out of 12 from one client. Laugh out loud. QNT run is going to be legendary. We do see here, yeah, Ethereum does approximately 1 million of transactions a day. Spunta will do 8.4 billion a year, which is 23 million a day. That's just one of the 12 dApps they're building from one client. We do see here, what? I did not know this. We do see here, as I learned just a few hours ago, listening to the QNT chat on Twitter Spaces, Project Spunta alone will have 9.6 more transactions per year than all Ethereum. Truly, the scope of QNT is massive. And we do see here SIA, financial infrastructure, 570 node banking infrastructure, payment and settlement use case. Like, this is going to be so huge. I want you to all understand the massive gateways that, Quant is building. Like, this is the bridge that all DLTs have to cross in order for them to fully be able to message one another and gossip with each protocol. Like, this is seriously a $1 trillion easily asset. We also see here, if you lose your financial data, you could ring the bank and you get a new card. But if you lose your health data, you can't ring anyone and say, can you change my DNA? Gilbert Verdian. I want you to all understand that QNT is not only for payments, though. QNT is not only for DLTs in general. Interoperability is a massive issue even in the healthcare scene. It's a massive issue in IT, Internet of Value, Internet of Things. Like, it's such a huge problem around the world in many overall industries, in many overall, even markets. So when we're talking about QNT and with interoperability, I honestly think it is an unstoppable force to be reckoned with. We even see here, investing in QNT is literally the easiest way to create generational wealth. All you need is patience. 1K, 10K, 50K, 100K. No doubt that QNT will reach those prices. It's only logical. And of course, Miles Taylor here, we do see here, we have a chart of QNT. Okay, currently, where we are now, we see the overall macro viewpoints to 2025. Okay, by 2025, we're looking at, $49,000, almost $77,000 technically up here. This is absolutely ridiculous. And we even see here, here's a little bit of a better perspective so that you guys could really kind of see it. We're talking about by, 2023, around almost June of 2023, we're talking about like $4,600 if this plays out. I'm not saying that it's going to, I'm just saying in general, like this could be very interesting to watch, okay? And of course, here's a little bit more of a, viewpoint on Quant Tether. This is pretty much the overall where we're at now. And here's the long-term viewpoints to all the way $1.7 million. Okay? And I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. What? That's absolutely ridiculous. But it's really not when you're looking at what QNT is actually solving. And of course, this is the macro view. Like this is the long-term view of QNT. We're talking initially looking at almost like, it's like $350 very soon, with $1,400 being the next major step here, or $700, sorry, and then $1,400 being up here, like next to like $12,000. Like we're gonna move very fast once things really start to open up for QNT. Like once we see mass adoption taking over in the DLT space, it's truly going to be absolutely ridiculous. And of course, we do see here the world's first true universal DLT interoperability platform oriented for enterprise, now certified by Oracle as the interoperability solution, for Oracle blockchain platform designed to seamlessly interconnect private and public systems, networks, and DLTs. Like this is the confirmation that we need. This is the massive solution from the Oracle Partner Finder. This is a gem. This is easily, the biggest use case in crypto currently. Being able to have the solution that almost nearly every financial institution, bank, and even overall enterprise is going to be looking at. And of course, this is why I said, if you miss being an early adopter of Bitcoin, don't miss being an early adopter of QNT, because I really do think that this is going to be a massive gem long term. I need you to all understand that even short term, yes, there's gains to be made. I'm just saying in general, QNT's macro viewpoints are absolutely ridiculous in terms of the upside potential here. That is why I continue to stack QNT even around $166, because I know that long term, this is an absolute gem. And I want you to all understand the potential behind interoperability in general, because it is connecting every single DLT to one massive network. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.